If I could get everyone's attention, I would like to first welcome all of you to the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation's 2017 annual report to the community. Each year, the Foundation's board and staff look forward to this meeting as it provides us with the opportunity to share with you some of the Foundation's activities during the past year and to invite a leader in a particular field to offer perspective as to how we might view our community and the changes taking place around us. And in this respect, we are particularly honored this year to be joined by President Gordon Gee. Just as important, this annual gathering also gives us the opportunity to thank you, our donors, our grantees, and our many, many volunteers who serve on the Foundation's committees, for your support of the Foundation and for all that you do in our community. Thank you so much. We are appreciative of your contributions and your support over the years, and particularly of your support of the Foundation's mission and our commitment to taking the long view in serving our community. As the media regularly reports and as our own daily experiences inform us, we live in a time that seems to be increasingly defined and shaped by rapid change, often disruptive change, and our community certainly has experienced its fair share of change over the last few years. In this challenging environment, I suggest that community foundations such as ours should provide all of us grounds for optimism. Consider this: today's Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation is the result, in part, of over 55 years of gifts from individuals living in our community. This generosity speaks volumes about how strongly people in our community care in improving the quality of life here. Consider further for a moment what this 55-year legacy of giving has accomplished. Millions of dollars in college scholarships to deserving students, almost $700,000 alone in 2015, and almost $650,000 last year. Millions more in contributions to our not-for-profit community to help address the basic needs of our less fortunate neighbors. And still more funding to support our valley's cultural and educational institutions. Building on this legacy, the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation looks forward to the future, and we look forward to it with excitement about possibilities. Community foundations such as ours can take the long view. We are not subject, as many are in today's world, to the pressures of producing short-term results. But we have the ability to be thoughtful and measured in responding to the changing needs of our community. And this measured approach and consideration as to the long-term effect of our actions is just the approach that the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation seeks to follow in making grants and from time to time acting as a community convener. As reported at this meeting in prior years, starting more than 10 years ago, the Foundation's board and staff, led by our then CEO, Becky Sepperly, began discussing in earnest how the Foundation could maximize the impact of its grants from its discretionary funds. I know this evolution in our grant-making process has been challenging for some of our grantees, and we ask for your patience, but we believe it is the right approach. The simple fact of the matter is, as we are all aware, that the basic social needs of our six-county area that we serve are great and are growing. And as fortunate as we are to benefit from endowed funds far greater in size than those held by most community foundations located in communities of our size, they do not begin to generate the necessary funding to respond to all of our community's needs. Consequently, we intend to continue working within our grant-making process towards our goal of maximizing the impact of the grants that we make. We also understand that the Foundation can play an important role as a community convener and leader. Most recently, we convened a group to hear a presentation from Gar Ragland of Asheville, North Carolina, who serves as the chair of that city's Arts Council, an organization that focuses on making Asheville a place where artists can thrive, and I might add, whose own family has roots deep in Charleston. This most important role played by the arts community in Asheville's vibrant community life is well documented. And those of us there were struck by Gar's optimism as to how Charleston might learn from Asheville's particular kind of support of its arts community. And that has led us to convene an even larger group in the coming month to be led by a recognized leader in arts placemaking to discuss what further actions Charleston might take to become the most attractive place possible for artists to want to live and work in. And many thanks, I might add, to Will Carter, one of our volunteers, for his passion and leadership in this initiative. It's going to be exciting to see where it leads. This type of initiative, as well as many others that the Foundation has led over the years, could simply not happen without your support, and we thank you. Finally, allow me to take my remaining time to recognize the members of the Foundation's board, many of whom are here today. Please stand wherever you are. It seems like you're all sitting in the back from what I can see. And let me also thank our Foundation's very able, hardworking, and devoted staff, led by our CEO, Michelle Foster. Please join me in showing our appreciation with a round of applause. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Michelle Foster, our CEO.
Good afternoon again. Giving in good measure. Welcome to the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation Annual Report to the Community. It is wonderful to see all of you here, lots of smiling faces, familiar faces, at this my second annual report event and my 14th month on the job. Would you believe a year just kind of zoomed by so quickly? And yes, I am loving it. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to lead a dynamic team of professionals who are committed to the mission and vision of the Foundation as we thoughtfully invest our donors' precious resources in the six-county region with the expectation of positive impact. Our team members, would you please stand and be recognized? We have Sherry, our Senior Program Officer, Christine Spalding, our Senior Accountant, Stephanie, Heyer, and Megan, and Todd, our Program Officers, our Faye Johnson, our Financial Assistant, Sarah Furrow, our admin assistant, Jane, the person who works with Augie Gray and all this on the whole production of the event. Help me thank them for their hard work and dedication. Thank you all for all that you do to help the Foundation to move forward. Your passion for the process really makes coming to work every day a joy for me. Thank you all. So we have it's not just us, we have a supporting team of folks who really help us to work towards our mission, including Dr. Matt Shepard and his team at Midwest Evaluation and Research, Dan Amelli of Amelli Business Systems. You guys, you too are essential members of our team, and you help to fuel our pursuit of excellence. Our legal counsel, who I was just telling her husband that seemed like I've been challenging her with new things this year, Melody of Bowles Rice, thank you very much. Augie, Gray, and Drake, they're the ones who conceptualized and helped with the production of the event, and our graphic design and branding and all that. John, Augie, thank you, wherever you are. We also have live streaming of today's event from West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Thank you, Scott Finn, and Will Price, our photographer. I continue to be amazed at the eager men and women who are so generous with their time and talents in assisting us at the Foundation. First and foremost, I salute our distinguished Board of Trustees, my 12 bosses. Come on, let's give it up for our leaders. led by Charlie Loeb and Todd Mount, our vice chair. I also want to recognize our immediate past chair, Melvin Jones, who cycled off the board at the end of last year after serving for over 10 years as a trustee. Thank you, trustees, for your dedication. Please know that I appreciate your thoughtful insights, your constructive feedback, and your unwavering support as I operationalize our strategic plan and strive to advance the foundation to higher levels. In addition to our board, we have over 100 volunteers on various committees and task groups. Are any of our volunteers here? Please stand if you are. Please stand and be recognized. Scholarship and investment and yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Your contributions really helped in all the processes and initiatives that we have set up, and we really want you to know that we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have examined all the essential elements of our community foundation, including our assets under management, our donor base, our community investments, our systems, our processes, our relationships. And it is my pleasure to report that we are on a solid foundation. You will find a financial snapshot of fiscal year 2016 in your program. These numbers are unaudited, so they may change slightly once the final annual report is out. But last year, we received over $3.5 million in contributions from people like you. Thank you so much for investing in your community via your community foundation. We also distributed $6 million in grants and scholarships. And at the end of the year, our assets under management were over $221 million. To those of you who made financial contributions last year, thank you for caring. To those of you who received a 2016 grant, it is our pleasure to partner with you as we work to make positive community impact. During 2016, we continued the rollout of our new strategic grant-making framework. As you may recall, many of you provided input as the framework was being developed under the leadership of Becky Sepperly, and I think Becky is here. There she is. Let's salute Becky. Becky has been very helpful in my transition, and she told me, oh, if it's a year down the road, call me. And I did. So thank you, Becky. The framework that was developed under her leadership addresses the root causes of issues that plague our community. The framework outlines how we envision the functioning of our proactive grant-making framework to really make a difference in the areas of health, education, and community economic development, which was a new priority area, having transitioned from community leadership as it was in previous years. The framework includes our long-term desired outcomes, or our goals, the types of wealth that we would like to invest in strategically, and the community-level indicators that we continue to measure to really make sure that we are making a change. Another key element of this framework is the aggregation of data from our grantees. In order to help us understand, because with limited funds, we have to make sure that we're really being strategic and really measuring what is going on, hence our theme, giving in good measure. Hopefully you guys are seeing the connections. I'm referring to data that will help us to determine whether our community investments are producing that social return that we intend. And that the data, gathering that data that would help us to assess our progress towards community transformation. The aggregation is critical to the full operationalizing of the framework, however, it was a missing link. So with the help of Dr. Matt Shepard and his team, that link is no longer missing. I'm happy to report that all elements of our strategic planning framework, our strategic grant-making framework, are now in place and the chain is complete. The new measurement model went into effect in January of 2017. So in future annual reports, I'll be able to share with you what those impacts are. But for now, it is my pleasure to report that in 2016, we invested directly into the lives of 347 West Virginians through our scholarship program. That's major, guys. 347 people. We assisted them in pursuing post-secondary education, many at WVU, Dr. Gee. Additionally, we processed 605 donor-advised and donor-designated requests. Through our discretionary program, we awarded 11 arts and culture grants, 16 basic needs grants, including grants for long-term flood recovery, 5 special initiative grants for the west side of Charleston, and 19 proactive grants were awarded to collaboratives including 103 organizations. We don't just fund one organization anymore, we fund collaboratives. These proactive efforts included Refresh Appalachia in Lincoln County. This collaborative includes Coalfield Development Corporation, Lincoln County High School, Unlimited Future, Step by Step, and the Lincoln County Economic Development Authority. Coalfield Development provides, so it's a perfect example of a wonderful collaborative. Coalfield Development provides the on-the-job training and mentorship. Lincoln County High, they host the Learning Farm Incubator and recruits and educates students. Unlimited Future, they provide training and marketing support. Step by Step recruits and mentors program participants and identifies communities in need of fresh produce. And the local EDA identifies additional sites, supports sales, and conducts community outreach. Refresh is just what 19-year-old Colt needed. To say that Colt is resilient is an understatement. His background includes generational poverty, household drug abuse, and homelessness. He has been associated with Coalfield now for over 2 years and has experienced tremendous personal growth. Colt was even promoted from a crew member to a crew leader. So now he's leading a team of students. In fact, it was Colt who actually suggested the idea. He started off in the Coalfield Construction Initiative, and he was the one who conceived the idea for the partnership with the local school. He now manages the Refresh greenhouse and farm, trains and mentors high school students, and even assists with program marketing. And would you believe he still makes time to attend Southern Community and Technical College? Colt is here today. Colt, would you stand? Just one example of a program that is doing great work in our community. And he's here with Caroline, who is a crew chief, and Ben, who is the president, Ben Gilmer, president of Refresh Appalachia. Just one example. We had several examples. This is just one example. We can't be here until all night, so just one example. As I look to the future, I'm reminded of a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, who wrote, "We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous and positive action. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to take action, to shine a light on the many positive things that our region and state have to offer. It is time for us to take action so that we can change the trajectory of those burdensome issues that seek to impede our progress. I implore you, the concerned citizens of Greater Kanawha Valley, to first of all, get proximate to those people and places that we would like to transform. For us to effectuate change, we cannot just sit in our comfortable plush offices and homes and command community level change to occur. No. We have to step out of our comfort zones. That is, we have to be willing to challenge ourselves to do that which is uncomfortable, and fully appreciate the plight of the marginalized individuals and families that we seek to serve. This may mean going over to that troubled part of town and speaking to someone who is not in our usual social circle. It may mean having a few difficult conversations with those folks we only deal with from a distance. Friends, there is power in proximity. We also have to continue to change the narrative about our state. According to a well-known proverb, life and death are in the power of the tongue. In a recent Gazette Mail op-ed, my friend Stephen Smith of the West Virginia Healthy Kids and Families Coalition wrote, "West Virginia is the best place to live for millennials who want to change the world. A humble place where you can make a difference, raise a family, and find a real community." I'm a few years out of the millennial generation, but I have to say amen to that statement. If we don't appreciate our state, then who will? We need our population to grow, we need our tax base to grow, which means that we have to be able to attract new residents, new companies, new businesses, new industries to our state. We may be at the bottom of some lists, but we rank number one in the amount of time we spend together with our neighbors. Lots of social capital developed during those times. We rank number 5 in time we spend with family and friends. And would you believe that Charleston and Huntington rank in the top 5 of most charitable cities in the country? And let's not forget our natural beauty. West Virginia is blessed with some of the most beautiful trees, mountains, and rivers, and waterfalls, natural wonders that offer great skiing and hiking and rock climbing and camping and all those wonderful outdoor activities. And just recently, Adventures on the Gorge, which is near Fayetteville in southern West Virginia, was numbered among the top 6 adventure resorts in the country by U.S. News and World Report. And we have some of the most friendly, helpful, kind people here. We have a great place to live and work. I moved here more than 2 decades ago and never left. So we've got to change that narrative. Most of all, we have to remain hopeful. There are still many assets here in our state, so we must remain hopeful. Yes, we have some challenges, but all is not lost. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So let us hang on to hope as we take action to make West Virginia better. This year, as we at the Greater Canal Valley Foundation forge forward with giving in good measure as our theme, I urge you to personalize this theme in your own lives, and search your heart and see how you may be able to contribute more to your community and your state. As renowned 99-year-old philanthropist Ms. Betty Schonbaum told me just yesterday, the joy of giving is the joy of living. And remember, giving is not just money. Giving includes your time and your talents, as so many of our volunteers give. I certainly hope that some of us will get more proximate, while others would step out and challenge ourselves to do something uncomfortable, but yet extraordinary. We will all do better about changing the narrative and being more hopeful about the future of our state. Thank you for supporting the Greater Canal Valley Foundation. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that the best is yet to come. Thank you.